Welcome back to the table. I'm Kim Ganassin. Let's continue our exploration of dreams and dimensional consciousness. Okay, so last time we looked at dreams in third dimensional consciousness, which we said most likely are your dreams that have you replaying tapes of real scenarios from this lifetime, that day perhaps, replaying them as tapes while you're dreaming, okay? And that they probably will lack the capacity for you as a character in your dream to reflect upon a larger picture. Okay, where am I? Why am I here? What's happening with me? And you're actually being analytical about a larger perspective. Okay? So, that larger perspective is something that tends to be a part of fourth dimension consciousness, where there is a greater understanding of yourself, okay, as a complex consciousness, okay, and also there is a greater understanding of context. You're able to step back and look at your third dimensional context from an objective perspective. Okay, so let's go back and let's imagine that you're laying all comfy in your bed in your three-dimensional body, your three-dimensional nervous system, your spine and your brain, the spine being more receptive and less analytical, and the brain being receptive to what the spine is feeling and being more analytical about it. Okay, so there you are in your bed. Perhaps you've had a sensation as you were falling asleep that you were being pulled up or being pulled out. Like you started to have a bit of a floaty sensation when you fell asleep. Now maybe you're thinking, well, that's really common. A lot of people just, feel floaty when they fall asleep. Pay attention to that sensation, right? Write it down in the morning. Did I feel floaty when I fell asleep last night? Was I perhaps seeing a picture in my mind, or was there more to that feeling of floatiness than just floatiness? Could I pull out maybe one more example of a sensation or a thought that I was having at the same time that I felt the floatiness? If you can identify any other features of that floaty feeling, then you're on the path to remaining lucid as you move up your spectrum of consciousness into the 4D zone. Okay? Now, 4D is a particular consciousness that you have as a full spectrum of consciousness, right? 4D is a consciousness that you have. But as we have talked about in a previous video, 4D is a zone around the Earth, right? There is some locality to it. There is a 4D context around the Earth that allows us to go from, that allows our spectrum to open up from three-dimensional consciousness within the body, going through a 4D consciousness zone, and then up into the other side, which is a fifth dimension location. Okay? So, you can go back and review that my 4D intro to the 4D zone if you'd like. All right, so here we are. Here you are asleep in your bed, feeling like you're traveling or floating upwards as you start to fall asleep, and you land in the 4D zone, okay, which you have 4D consciousness available to you in the 4D zone. Okay, well, 4D is a very, very busy place, and we're going to go more into the specifics of that on another video, but for now, just know many, many, many people on Earth are opened up in their 4D consciousness and moving through the 4D zone at the same time. right? Because of the time zones on the earth and, you know, people sleeping whenever they sleep. Many people all over the earth go up through the 4D zone. So you are not alone. When you travel up through the 4D zone and you open up your 4D consciousness, there's lots of other people up there, and there's lots of ways that other people's consciousness can interconnect with your own. Okay? Now, this is often what you might dream about if you are lucid in a 4D dream. All right, you might feel that sensation that you have lifted upwards. You might have the feeling that there is a lot going on around you, that there's a great deal of complexity. You can't quite pinpoint what it is, but it feels complex. And you might feel deeply within yourself the feeling that you recognize yourself as a complex person. You have that feeling in the background that you are not just someone playing a role through a tape being replayed in your nervous system. You are aware that you are a conscious being, that you are complex, that you are interconnected with others, and you can reflect upon that, and you can make decisions in those dreams. Okay? So sometimes what you'll see when you are in the 4D zone is you'll see pictures of the earth. Okay? You'll have a perspective that you are looking downward. Anytime you have a dream, no matter what the details are, if you have a perspective where you are hovering from above and looking down, you are probably in your 4D consciousness reflecting upon whatever the dream is from a fourth dimensional consciousness. Okay? So, some of the common themes of 4D dreaming are reflecting upon the big picture, the earth, beyond yourself, beyond your inner relationships, in your direct circle of friends and family. Okay, when you're thinking about issues above and beyond what affects you directly in your life, that is often a 4D theme dream that you experience from your 4D consciousness. If you're floating in the 4D zone above the earth, you might see the earth and the continents, but you might notice that the continents do not match up exactly the same as you've learned they do when you look at a map. Sometimes the perspective from 4D of the earth looks very different. I mean, you know it's the earth, but you're going, well, wait a minute, how does North America and South America and then Africa, wait a minute, there's pieces missing, or something's upside down, or something's going on, right? And you might have dreams about looking at the continents and they don't match up. Okay? You also might have dreams of very strong emotions of other people. Perhaps people you know, perhaps people you don't know. But if you're feeling other people's emotions strongly within yourself, as if they are echoing within you, that's a hallmark of a 4D experience, lucid dream. Okay? That is because the minute you step beyond third dimensional consciousness and you open up to 4D or 5D consciousness, but immediately when you come out of 3D and you go to 4D, you have a much stronger knowing of the interconnectedness of all human beings. You know it. Okay? You feel it. And so you feel everything that other people are feeling amplified within yourself. Oftentimes, lucid dreams in the fourth dimension are not all that pleasant. We are problem solving. We are looking at the earth and we are trying to figure out what to do with issues. We are reflecting upon what our nervous system has absorbed from everyone around us, but we have a tendency to block it off in our 3D consciousness because it is absolutely overwhelming. Okay? We have a hard time feeling all our own feelings, feeling our children's feelings. I have a hard time feeling my dog's feelings when she's feeling isolated and sad, and I see those eyes and it just pierces my heart. You know what I'm saying, right? So we have a tendency to dull those feelings just to get through the day. Well, when you are 4D lucid in your dream, you might well be hearing voices and feeling other people's grief, other people's fear, other people's worries. You might see fire. You might see a lot of red and orange colors. The earth is hot right now. Yeah, the planet is hot. Now we can also think in terms of a couple other reasons why when you're looking down at the planet you might see reds and oranges a lot as a basic color theme. One of them is the amount of light and actual fire that humans bring to the planet and is part of human life. And the fire could be, you know, forest fires or whatever, but it can also be from gunfire and, you know, warfare. That looks red and orange. It's very hot. And then also, red and orange are the colors of survival and fear. And imagine yourself looking down at the planet with an intention of solving problems amongst human beings and amongst humanity. And you will be able to see immediately that the problems we are having are due to survival instinct and fear. We are very, very fearful creatures in our three-dimensional culture on the planet. So that's going to show up as reds and oranges. Okay? Now, we've looked at what 4D consciousness is in your dreams. We've looked at some symbolism. Let's just bullet point this and clarify. Okay? So, the 4D experience in your dreams is you with a broader perspective of pretty much everything. 3D and 4D are very closely related. 4D is a broader view of your 3D experience, okay? So the 4D you is very concerned with the bigger picture on the planet. You will feel your own emotions and other people's emotions a bit more dramatically in your 4D lucid dream, because on the planet we don't actually have a tradition of sharing a lot of these emotions with each other on a daily basis. We hold a lot of our stuff in. So when we go to 4D and we start examining ourselves and each other as a group in a context, we start to feel the emotions that are unspoken amongst us on the planet. Okay? You will have a deep knowing within yourself. It is just part of your being. The knowing that we are all connected, that we are all in this together, and there is no singularity amongst us. It's not just little 3D you in your little 3D life on the planet and everything revolves around you. 4D is a group experience. Okay? Let's see. Okay, and then there's one more thing, and that is whether or not you're hovering over the planet looking down in your 4D experience of lucid dreaming, even if you are looking at the planet like your own town, the streets and everything like that and the cars, from a higher perspective, that's still a 4D thing. So anytime you see yourself looking down at something on the earth, something may be part of your mundane life, but you're up above it and you have a broader perspective of the whole thing, that is indicative of your 4D consciousness, which has the ability to see a broader context. Okay? Well, I hope I've been able to illustrate to you the difference between 3D lucid dreaming, which is about yourself and the stressors that come into your life, okay, whether they're good stressors or bad stressors. The 4D lucid dreaming experience is about a larger perspective of yourself, of each other, of our relationships, and of the earth. Okay? I'm really looking forward to publishing and getting your comments on my next video, Dreams in 5D Consciousness. We're going to talk about that rare and beautiful phenomenon of a 5D visitation. Can't wait to show you that. All right. Well, I want to thank you for being here. Leave your comments and questions. I'll see you next time. Take care.